Gynecologist's secret: how one oil can revitalize hormones and intimate circulation after 60. Imagine if, in the span of a single week, something as commonplace as an oil, one you probably possess in your kitchen right now, could help reanimate a vital part of your body that an overwhelming number of women over 60 privately contend with but rarely discuss. Let us be direct, because this is of great importance. We are addressing vaginal dryness, the loss of sensitivity, and the silent alterations that manifest down there following menopause, changes that can insidiously erode your confidence, your capacity for intimacy, and your feeling of comfort within your own skin. However, here is the heartening reality: it does not need to remain this way. No hormonal creams, no complicated prescriptions, no invasive medical procedures, simply one gentle, natural practice that has the power to restore what time and tension might have diminished. Your body's innate lubrication, its responsiveness, and your deeply rooted sense of femininity. I am Dr. Lily Stones, and for more than 3 decades, have committed my professional life to assisting women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond in reclaiming their vitality and the profound connection to themselves. What I am about to disclose is founded upon both extensive clinical experience and evidence-based knowledge. This isn't based on hype or wishful thinking, but on genuine possibilities, and it is something you have likely not heard from your own physician. Because here is the astonishing part: one of the most powerful instruments for revitalizing the vitality in aging feminine tissue is not something you will discover in a pharmacy. It is found in nature. Applied topically, utilized with care, and embraced as a daily ritual, it can invigorate circulation, reawaken nerve responses, and gently restore warmth and softness to a region of the body that so many women have come to believe is beyond renewal. And in the next few minutes, I will guide you through precisely what this oil is, how to use it with complete safety, what you can anticipate feeling on a day-to-day basis, and the subtle shifts that create a significant impact. If you have been feeling alienated from your body or simply not like your true self, I warmly invite you to remain with me. Before we proceed, please take a moment to support this community of women who are healing together. Click the subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and if this message is already making you feel seen, leave a comment below by simply typing a 1. And if not yet, type 0 and inform me how I can better serve you on your journey. Every voice is valued here. Why most women over 60 quietly struggle down there. In my practice, I consult with women every single week who sit across from me bearing an unseen burden upon their shoulders. They are in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. They are dynamic, accomplished, and full of wisdom, yet something feels amiss. They do not always articulate it, but it is evident in their eyes, in the pause in their speech, in the way their gaze lowers when we broach the topic of intimacy. They have silently persuaded themselves that this is simply the way aging unfolds. But allow me to be unequivocal: what is transpiring is not an enigmatic curse of age. It is a biological phenomenon that merits attention, not acceptance. After menopause, the body manufactures significantly less estrogen, and that reduction influences more than just hot flashes and mood fluctuations. The tissues surrounding the vulva and the vaginal opening, once full, elastic, and naturally lubricated, start to become thinner and drier. The arteries and capillaries that deliver oxygen-rich blood to this region can constrict, diminishing circulation and rendering the tissue less responsive. Nerve endings that once ignited at a soft touch may now seem muted or distant. For many women, this does not merely affect pleasure. It can make intimacy painful or undesirable. And perhaps more distressingly, the brain starts to disengage from this area. It ceases to register the region as essential. That part of your body can begin to feel like foreign territory. This is not just a physical issue, it is emotional and even spiritual. You may feel as though a piece of you has quietly vanished, like the woman you once were is more difficult to recognize in your reflection. That spark, that internal sense of sensuality and aliveness, begins to fade. And it does not only impact intimacy, it can wear away at your self-image, your confidence, and your overall energy. Let me share something personal. My own mother, a brilliant and deeply spirited woman who was a school teacher for over 40 years, once confided in me, "Lily, it feels as if I am drying up from the inside out. Not just physically, but in my soul." She was not being melodramatic. She was describing a tangible physiological shift, a loss of blood flow, sensation, and hormonal equilibrium that countless women confront, yet few feel empowered to discuss. But here is the wonderful news. Just like my mother, many of my patients have discovered that when we restore circulation and gently reawaken the body's intrinsic connection, they start to feel like themselves again. Not just below the waist, but throughout their entire being. Because the female body, even after 60, still desires to respond. It simply requires the proper invitation. And as you will shortly discover, that invitation does not need to arrive in the form of a prescription. It can originate from a natural source that has been relied upon for centuries and is now affirmed by modern research. So you may now be asking, what is this natural tool and how exactly can it help you feel like yourself once more? Let's investigate that next. The oil that reawakens. Let's discuss the oil, the one that when used correctly can gently rekindle circulation, soften tissue, and reintroduce warmth and sensitivity to an area that may have felt dormant for years. It is not a pharmaceutical cream. It is not a synthetic lubricant. It is rosemary oil, specifically rosemary essential oil, diluted in a natural carrier like almond or coconut oil. And while many people associate rosemary with being merely a kitchen herb, this plant boasts a rich heritage in natural healing, and more recently, has garnered support from peer-reviewed research for its circulatory and anti-inflammatory properties. Studies indicate that rosemary oil contains compounds like rosmarinic acid and cineol, which aid in dilating blood vessels and promoting microcirculation when applied to the skin. It also possesses antioxidant and neuroprotective effects that support tissue recovery and healthy nerve signaling. Source: National Institutes of Health, Phytotherapy Research. So how does this apply to your body? When applied gently to the external genital region, specifically the vulva, labia, and clitoral hood, diluted rosemary oil sends a subtle communication to your body. Not an intense heat, but a soft, consistent warmth, a sensation that many women characterize as coming back to life. One of my patients, Alanina, a retired nurse in her early 70s, had spent years feeling disconnected from her body. When I first suggested this oil to her, she was quite rightly skeptical. She had tried hormone creams and commercial moisturizers, but nothing had helped her feel like herself again. She asked, "Do you truly believe this oil can make a difference?" I smiled and replied, "I don't just think so, I have witnessed." Within 1 week of daily application, Alanina shared something with me that still gives me goosebumps. She said, "It's like a quiet hum beneath my skin. Not painful, just presence. Like my body is reacquainting itself with me." That is the power of blood flow, returning to undernourished tissue. It is biology, but it is also more than that. It is empowerment. It is taking your health and sensuality back into your own hands, quite literally. Because this is not just about outcomes, it is about ritual. It is about reconnecting with a part of your body that is deserving of attention, care, and compassion, a part of you that remains alive and responsive, even if it has been silent for a period. So now that you know which oil to use, let's proceed through the exact method of application. Because when it comes to natural remedies, the results are derived not just from what you use, but how you use it. How to apply rosemary oil safely and effectively. Here is where many women make a mistake. They hurry through the process. They approach it like a chore to be completed rather than an act of healing. But the reality is, your body after 60 responds best not to haste, but to presence. So let's walk through this together, step by step. This is the exact method I have taught to hundreds of my patients and even my own mother. Step 1. Prepare your blend. Rosemary essential oil is potent and must be diluted before application. Never apply it directly to the skin. Use a carrier oil such as sweet almond, fractionated coconut, or jojoba oil. Mix 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil into 1 teaspoon of your chosen carrier oil. Stir gently, or warm the mixture between your palms until it achieves a comforting temperature, not hot, just warm enough to signal to your body that something nurturing is about to happen. Step 2. Timing is key. The optimal time to apply the oil is following a warm shower or bath, when your pores are more receptive and your body is in a state of relaxation. Find a quiet, private space where you can lie down or sit comfortably without being disturbed. Step 3. Begin gently. With clean hands, apply the oil blend to the outer labia and the surrounding vulvar area. Avoid any internal insertion. This is a topical treatment only. Use soft, circular motions, allowing your fingertips to glide gently across the skin. Focus on tenderness, not on applying pressure. Take slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allow each stroke to be intentional. Let each breath signal to your nervous system that you are safe, you are present, and you are worthy of this time. Step 4. Give it time. The entire process only requires about 5 to 7 minutes. Some women begin with a once daily application in the evening. Others prefer to use it both in the morning and at night during the first week to encourage a quicker tissue response. Do what feels most appropriate for your body. One of my patients, Susan, a 68-year-old widow who had not touched herself with such care in years, told me something I will never forget. After just 3 days of this practice, she said, "I hadn't even realized how much I missed this. Not just the physical feeling, but the sense that I was still here, still whole. That is why this practice is so powerful. It is not about chasing youth, it is about reclaiming connection. Every touch conveys a message to your body. I have not forgotten you." And the body in its quiet wisdom begins to respond. What to expect over the next 7 days? Now let's discuss what happens next. Because a common question from women is, when will I begin to feel a difference? And the answer is often sooner than you might expect. Here is a day-by-day glimpse of what is possible when you commit to this simple, consistent practice. Day 1. The shift often starts emotionally. For many women, this is the first occasion in years they have touched this part of their body with love instead of frustration or obligation. That act alone can be transformative. Days 2 to 3, you may begin to experience a gentle tingling or a sense of warmth. That is the feeling of increased circulation. You might also notice the tissue becoming softer or more supple. These are real, tangible physiological signs of progress. Days 4 to 5, sensitivity often starts to return. Natural moisture may increase. Touch might feel less irritating and more pleasant. This is your body remembering how to respond, and you feeling more like your authentic self. Day 6, a deeper change frequently emerges, not just physically but emotionally. Women often report feeling more confident, more grounded, and more alive, and their partners notice it too. Day 7. This is what I refer to as the mirror moment. You look at yourself and see not just aging but an awakening. The oil is working, yes, but more significantly, you have started to reclaim something vital, your connection to your own body. And this is just the beginning. Creating a transformative blend. By now you have seen what a simple, consistent daily ritual with rosemary oil can achieve, how it awakens sensation, invites circulation, and brings back a part of yourself that may have felt forgotten. But what if you could take it even further? What if by combining this one oil with a few others, each with its own potent properties, you could multiply the effects and create a truly transformative blend? Because here is what I tell my patients: nature works best in harmony. And just as no single nutrient can fulfill all of your body's needs, no single oil contains every answer. That is why I often suggest pairing rosemary with 3 other time-tested essential oils that support healthy tissue, improved blood flow, and gently balance the nervous system. These oils are not exotic or expensive. In fact, you may already have some of them at home, but when used in concert, they create a synergistic effect that can accelerate healing and deepen your connection to your body. Ginger oil. Yes, the same root you might use for tea or a stir-fry is also a powerful circulatory stimulant. When applied topically, ginger oil helps to warm the tissue and dilate blood vessels, increasing blood flow to areas that have grown sluggish or cool with age. A 2022 study in complementary therapies and clinical practice showed ginger enhanced peripheral circulation and reduced inflammation when used in massage oil. Combined with rosemary, they form a dynamic duo, one expanding blood vessels, the other calming inflammation and reviving nerve ending. One of my patients, Margaret, called it her wake-up blend. Lavender oil. Now I know what some might think. Lavender is for stress or sleep, not for circulation. But here is the truth. Tension is one of the greatest obstacles to female pleasure, especially after a constricted pelvic floor can limit blood flow, dull sensitivity, and make arousal feel like an effort instead of a joy. Lavender does not just soothe your mind, it helps relax pelvic muscles and encourages your nervous system to soften into a state of safety. Think of it as the oil that unlocks the door. It does not stimulate like rosemary or ginger, but it prepares your body to be receptive. Geranium oil, sometimes referred to as the woman's oil, geranium has long been prized for its capacity to support hormonal balance and soothe irritated skin. Its light floral aroma has a calming effect, and when used topically, it nourishes delicate tissue and helps improve skin tone and elasticity. Geranium does not create immediate warmth like ginger or rosemary, but over time it contributes a restorative quality that many women describe as balancing or nurturing. In fact, studies suggest geranium essential oil may positively affect estrogen-regulated pathways. Source: Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, 2020. How to create the blend. I recommend starting with a base of sweet almond or fractionated coconut oil. In 1 teaspoon of carrier oil, add 3 drops of rosemary essential oil, 2 drops of ginger oil, and 1 drop of either lavender or geranium oil. You can alternate based on how you feel. Warm the mixture in your palms before applying, and use the same gentle circular massage technique we discussed earlier. Remember, this is for external use only. What I love most about this blend is its customizability. If you're feeling low on energy or sensation, slightly increase the rosemary and ginger. If you're feeling anxious or tight, lean more into lavender and geranium. Your body will guide you if you listen closely. Daily habits that amplify results. Now let's be candid, even the most powerful oil blend cannot reach its full potential if the rest of your lifestyle is working in opposition. This does not mean you need a complete life overhaul, but a few simple, research-supported changes can help you transition from short-term improvement to lasting transformation. Hydrate more than you think you need. Vaginal tissues, like every organ, rely on water to remain healthy. As we age, our thirst signals can become less dependable. Aim for at least 6 to 8 cups of water daily. Move your body gently but consistently. You do not need to start running marathons. Just 20 to 30 minutes of light walking, yoga, or stretching each day can significantly increase blood flow to the pelvic region. Rethink your breath. Deep belly breathing does more than calm your nerves. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is crucial for sexual function and arousal. Deep breaths relax the pelvic floor and signal safety to your body. Stop apologizing for wanting pleasure. This may be the most challenging, but also the most critical. Many women over 60 have been conditioned to believe sensuality is only for the young. That belief, quietly held, can be a greater barrier to healing than any physical condition. It is not indulgent. It is human. The oils help your body respond. The habits help your body sustain it, and your mindset is what sets it all into motion. A lifelong rhythm in a final word. The real transformation begins when you stop viewing this as a temporary fix and start embracing it as a lifelong rhythm. A quiet daily declaration that proclaims, "My body still matters, I still matter." When I first introduced this ritual, many patients approached it as an experiment, but what astounded me was not just the physical progress, but how many returned weeks later saying, "This isn't just working, it has become part of me." The female body is incredibly wise. It responds to consistency and thrives on care. Anchor this ritual to something you already do. Keep your oil blend visible. At the core of it all is your intention, not to fix something broken, not to reverse time, but to come home to yourself. After 30 years of caring for women, I have come to believe one truth above all. Just because a part of your body has been quiet does not mean it is gone. It may be resting, it may be waiting, but it is not gone, and neither are you. Too many women feel invisible after 60, not just to the world, but to themselves. I want to gently challenge that belief. Aging does not mean losing your vitality. It means relearning how to connect with it. Tonight, when your home is quiet, I invite you to try something simple. Warm the oil, take a few deep breaths, and touch your body as if it belongs to you, because it does. You are not done. You are not invisible. You are not too old. You are still here, and every cell in your body is listening for that truth. If you have made it to the end, thank you. You have taken a powerful step. You chose to show up for your own wellness, your own pleasure, your own aliveness. Somewhere many of us were told that after a certain age we should expect less. That is not your truth. What we have shared today is not just about rosemary oil, it is about attention, because wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. I invite you now not just to try this practice, but to make it your own. If this message resonated with you, I would be honored if you joined our community. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and please subscribe. We are building a place where women over 60 are seen, heard, and celebrated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you.